When I make beats, the most important thing to me is the bounce. You gotta have knock.
I think the Nest kick adds like automatic bounce to the beat.
It kind of has a nice little bounce to it, you know? Still pretty simple.
Bounce that Smoke played in the piano determined everything. And
rhythm and melody, I always keep this in mind, like when I'm making beats, like rhythm and melody are the universal language. If the beat is bouncing and it has an ill-ass rhythm to it.
Like a bounce, you know what I'm saying? Where's the bounce? This is not bounce, this is more just laid back, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of gave it a dope little bounce.
Yeah, the most important thing when I start is definitely a vibe.
The vibe of the arpeggiator and the vibe of the piano, it was just like two different vibes, you know what I'm saying?
the most important ingredient is soul.
I just had some random little vocal effects. I just threw it in the mix and
I just turn things up to the max. It's like no rules when I make beats.
And that kind of like, yo, you can do anything with the music. You know what I mean?
I couldn't figure out like what chord to put right there under the vocals. I just made this part right here.
Every job, you know, I like to get people to sit and think. You know, a lot of the music is meant to make people move, but I kind of like to make people move in a different way, like maybe sit still and move up here.
I'll just name beats off of like random things, random names.
I think what kind of separates this from other happier songs is it's using a lot of acoustic instruments.
And I was just fucking with it and it just sounded like.
I didn't use no compression, no, you know, a lot of producers, they think they gotta mix their beats. I just level them.
That's a chop of her saying down.
My sound, it's like, it's got a slap, so it wasn't slapping. So I asked for it, turn the kick up, make sure it hits, and he's like, yo, I got you, bro. Like, don't even worry about it.
You cannot do nothing without a bass line.
So if the kick's moving, the beat's gonna be moving most times, you know what I mean?
I'm the best producer in the world, and I'm gonna outwork everyone. There is no competition. We're like on the 808s. For the kick, I legit
like those little percussions.
And then open hi-hat. Oh, I actually pitched this down for 400 cents, which is 400 semitones. I can play it like normal. For 400 cents, which is 400 semitones. I
started like with the 808.
And then 808.
Look at the drums. 808 snare.
808 snare.
This is the 808.
808 in the kick.
And then we got the 808.
After I got that swing right, I made the 808s do it.
808s.
Started with the 808.
I put the 808 in there.
But instead of the cowbell, I use like an 808 bell.
It's like a club vibe. There's a pause in there, an 808 pause.
The 808 on this one. Pretty simple, you know what I mean?
This is my favorite part when I did the 808s, man. Super simple.
Defined sections. And this is all kind of basic. This one's just easy to use. And
At first, I didn't care for the beat because it was just like it was just simple and just like, you know,
Still pretty simple.
You know, you don't want to do too much.
So this is actually a stock sound. So once I had the chords, I went ahead and did the drums. They're very simple.
I like to keep it real simple, like I said, like
just making sure it's knocking. Super simple snare.
For the hats, it's pretty simple. I just made a simple pattern. So I told the session player to pull up the cheapest piano sound he could find and play me like the most simple, happy chord he could find.
And honestly, man, this beat took me like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, man. You know, there's brilliance in simplicity, you know. You can.
And then I applied gross beat to it, which is like in FL Studio.
Feeling of the sample. It's this thing on FL called gross beat, which all the fans know we use, but I took it and I half-timed it.
Half-speeded it, so then it came on like this.
The way I look at music is like we're creating like a wave form, you know what I'm saying? Like all the way in the...
That's really the meat and potatoes of the sample. That is the sample.
Bass just added like what I would call like the meat with the potatoes. Like the potatoes was already there with the piano, and it was just like, you know, people need that big steak, that 16-ounce steak to go on a plate to complete it. And
the next thing was right, how can we make this a little bit dirty? And
it gives things a squishy sound, and I just like that.
I did that more for like a heartbeat vibe. Like I wanted to give it like a pulse.
A little bit more sauce to it.
It's almost like Jenga, but it's reversed, but it's like...
pull the rubber more, like extend, you know, the boom.
version with Drake and you hear the hook, you can hear like the girl breathing in the back, like.
So that's seagulls going into like.
I did these spoons.
Crazy like girl moaning in this beat, like yo. Ended up being.
One is this sandpaper sound I got from a ASMR YouTube video.
Yeah, only whatever is in Ableton.
Yeah, it's
only
it's
like
all
built-in
Ableton
Ableton.
shit. So you don't have to buy any plugins to be a producer. That's just stupid. This is a $600 bass. That's stupid. Stupid.